Make-A-Wish employees. What was the strangest thing a kid asked for and actually got? I worked at Make-A-Wish for a while, and most of the time it was the usual stuff. Disney, a celebrity meet and greet, a shopping spree at Target, sweet, normal stuff. But then there was Marcus. He was 14, had cystic fibrosis, in and out of hospitals since he was a little kid. When I asked him about his wish, I thought he'd say video games or maybe meeting a basketball player. Nope, he looked me straight in the face and said, "I want to fire my math teacher." I laughed at first, thought he was joking. His mom laughed too, but Marcus didn't smile. He meant it. He told me about Ms. Caldwell, his math teacher, strict as hell, cold, treated kids like soldiers. Marcus missed school all the time for appointments, treatments, days he could barely breathe. Instead of helping him catch up, she punished him, sent him home with double homework, took points off his grade for being absent. One time he had a coughing fit in class and she told him to take it outside like he was interrupting her lecture on fractions. But the story that stuck was this. Marcus had a feeding tube scar on his stomach, and one day during gym class his shirt lifted a little. Some kid laughed. Instead of shutting it down, Ms. Caldwell said, "If you don't want people staring, keep your shirt down." He never forgot it. So when he told me his wish, he wasn't joking. He wanted her fired, right then and there. Most people would have said no, not possible. But something about the way Marcus said it made me pause. Like this wasn't just a prank. This was about control. He'd lost so much already. He wanted power back. I started asking around. Turned out a lot of people hated Ms. Caldwell. Other teachers rolled their eyes at her. Parents had complained. Students talked about her like she was a villain. The principal even admitted she was a problem, but never did anything because she'd been there forever. So we got creative. We couldn't actually fire her, but we could stage something. With the school board's blessing, we set up this whole event. Career day. Local business leaders, cops, firefighters, doctors coming in to talk to the students. Totally normal. Caldwell thought she was giving a little talk about discipline and learning, but here's what really happened. The morning of career day, Marcus showed up in his wheelchair, wearing a little clip-on tie and this oversized blazer. He looked like a boss. Over the PA, the principal announced a special presentation. The lights dimmed in the auditorium. Marcus was wheeled up to the stage, and then, straight face, clear voice, he said, "As my wish, I get to make one change at this school." He looked right at Miss Caldwell in the front row and said, "You're fired." The place went dead silent for 2 seconds, and kids started clapping. Teachers, too. Some of them actually stood up, and it didn't stop there. The principal leaned into the mic and said, "Effective immediately, Miss Caldwell will no longer be teaching at this school." She'd been warned this was happening. The school board basically gave her the choice. Participate in this or resign. She sat there frozen, her face red, while the entire auditorium cheered for Marcus. He grinned bigger than I'd ever seen. They let him hand her a fake pink slip, like a prop, and she had to walk out in front of everybody. Some students started chanting his name. "Marcus! Marcus!" The best part? Over the speakers, Marcus had a little speech he'd recorded. He said, "You made me feel small when I was already fighting to stay alive. Today I'm bigger than you." And the crowd went crazy. When he rolled off that stage, kids high-fived him in the hallways, teachers hugged him, even the janitor gave him a salute. For the first time in years, Marcus wasn't just the sick kid, he was the hero. A few weeks later, he was still talking about it, over and over. Not because he'd embarrassed her, but because for once, he got to call the shots. He got to flip the script, and when he said, "You're fired," his voice didn't shake, not once.